Thank you for joining us for the third episode of GameBlogAdvanced. My name is Alex Rhodes, and this...
I'm Nate Smith.
That's Nate Smith.
This is Nate Smith. My apologies in advance because my allergies are just poning me today. So throughout the whole episode, you're going to get some of that. So you're welcome.
So today is a big Nate Smith episode where we talk all about Nintendo. What about Nintendo really keeps you going with their lackluster consoles?
Pokemon. That's what keeps me going. True. So why don't you tell them what was revealed?
So there's a big reveal for Pokemon this week. Pokemon White and Black 2 have been announced, which are supposedly the third iterations where they usually do like Pokemon Red, Blue, then Yellow, or what are the other ones? Pearl, Diamond, and something or other.
Yeah, basically the format of how Pokemon has always worked is they release a new generation consisting of two games, both of which have different Pokemon, sometimes different storylines and stuff like that, basically to encourage you to buy both games so that you can trade and stuff, which I always ate up. And then usually about a year to a year and a half later...
Which would be like right now.
Okay, so maybe a year or two later, they come out with the third game of the same generation where they hybrid them and create a conjoined version. For example, Red and Blue was the original generation of Pokemon, and then a couple years later they came out with Yellow, which had actually a lot of differences in comparison.
Pikachu followed you around.
Right. Diamond and Pearl had... What was Diamond and Pearl?
I know it
was Platinum. It was Platinum. Stuff like that. Now, the surprising thing with this is that because it was black and white, everyone was expecting the third... Well, not necessarily the third now, but the next installment, version. To be the gray version. And this is surprising because they are releasing two on the second round of this generation. But
mothers with children just hid in fear.
They said, "Oh, now I gotta buy two games, so that's wonderful." But I'm excited. When was it announced that it was going to be released in Japan?
It's coming out in Japan in June, which with localization, I would say around November, December for U.S. release, but that hasn't been announced or commented on. It just said coming soon.
He just told me about the article, so I don't know the details. Yeah. But, new generation, not new generation, a new installment of the same generation.
A rehash.
However, there was a Japanese, I think it was there was a gaming magazine where some scans leaked that revealed that there was a new Pokemon that was already made, which was... Oh, crap. I forget what it was called, but it was like a horse.
Like a horse donkey.
It was a horse donkey. It was a horse donkey unicorn hybrid. It was pretty rad. I was into it.
It's almost as cool as the garbage pail Pokemon from the black and white. Or the ice cream cone. Or the bear with snot in its nose. Okay,
yeah. I will admit that even though I love Generation 5, there were a lot of... At some point, it seemed like the developers were kind of like, crap, we still need more. We got a week to do this. All right, garbage bag, ice cream, sick bear. Print it. It's good to go.
I'm pretty sure they ran out of ideas about halfway through the Pokemon roster.
I don't know about that. Because at a certain point, it wasn't like they were trying to think of ideas, like what could we make. It was more like, let's just make crazy-looking stuff. Like Arceus, Giratina... Basically, a lot of the Gen 5 legendaries, even a lot of... Well, I meant Gen 4. A lot of the Gen 4 legendaries, a lot of the Gen 5 legendaries are really cool. Because, the first generation or two, they were very, very based on actual animals for a lot of them. And then as it went on, they just kind of got more creative. We're like, let's stop trying to make realistic animals and just make cool-looking stuff.
I don't know. I thought the worst one was black and white. Character design and...
Black and white was one of my favorites. Yeah. I'd say the third generation, which was Sapphire, Ruby, Emerald, that one. Yeah. That one, for me, had the most lame, dumb, most not memorable Pokemon. However, story-wise, it was definitely my favorite.
That's the only one I haven't played yet.
Well, I've played all of them, so deal with it. But, so that's what's going on with it. And I'm stoked. Anytime they release anything new Pokemon, I and the other Pokefans, Pokemaniacs out there are just... The Pokemon following is so cult and dedicated that they will just eat up whatever Nintendo throws at them.
Like Poke Park 2, for example.
I'll get it at some point.
Don't waste your time with that.
I will waste my time with that. I don't care. You get friends.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, I'm gonna get you. It's like, no, you're not. Oh, I got you. We're friends now. This is the whole game. I'll do it. Why not?
If you need friends that badly, Poke Park 2 might be just right for you.
Are you socially awkward? Do you feel that chasing people around is the only way to get friends? For the stalker in you, we've implemented it into Poke Park. You are welcome.
But the real interesting thing about the Black and White 2 is that it's for the DS and not the 3DS. And you can play 3DS games or DS games on the 3DS, but still it's not like it has no benefit of being played on the 3DS, which is Nintendo's new handheld.
Well, actually, rather than not just not having benefit, it's actually a downgrade because it's not the native resolution.
Yeah, so it looks
like
worse.
Crap. Yeah. Which I have a 3DS, which is right there, and not a regular DS. So yeah,
it makes sense for a sales standpoint that they're going to be releasing on the DS.
Oh yeah, just because there's even though the 3DS has done really really well ever since they basically sold 3DSs at a loss
For half price.
Yeah. Still, the majority of DS users are regular DS, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So, obviously that's going to sell more games, but it's not going to encourage the purchase of their new console, which
is dumb.
Which kind of segues us into our next topic, which is the future of Nintendo.
Which is looking pretty bleak. Let's just put it that way.
You think,
if you can't even get a new Pokemon game on your system, it's going to be, another 4 years before a new Pokemon comes out for the 3DS? Probably. What they need to do is have a Pokemon where it's kind of like the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time type camera, where you run around in third person with with battling Pokemon, like an MMO style Pokemon game.
Yeah, basically a 3D platform.
Yes. How much better would that be?
Yeah, but also how much has everybody's been saying it since Generation 1. Everyone's been wanting, not necessarily an MMO style, but basically that platform to where it's a whole open 3D platform to where you're not limited to a single fixed camera point and just going up, down, left, right.
But this is the first system that Pokemon's been on that can produce that. Besides the Wii Battle Revolutions and
those weren't. Those were just
the 3DS.
That was all fighting.
The 3DS is capable of putting a Pokemon game in 3D, like in third person.
I think the thing with Nintendo is that at least for the Pokemon series, it's always been consistent. It's always been a stick to what you know type thing. Not like what we talked about last week, where it's copy and paste on different maps. But it obviously it's different maps, but it's different Pokemon. It's a different story. The only thing that really is the same is being just walking up, down, left, right, which I don't necessarily find a bad thing, but it would also be cool if they implemented that 3D style into a new game. Maybe not even a new generation. Maybe just remake one of the existing generations just into that platform.
Red and blue.
Dude, if they did red and blue in that style, that would bring them back from whatever they've
I'd throw money at it.
Oh my god. Take my money, I'll buy 10! I like how this has just become the gesture of take my money, even though it's more like my hands are wet and I don't have a towel. It's take it! I don't want it!
Yeah, if they made a red and blue like that, or even a gold and silver, those are my two favorites.
Yeah, because the closest thing they've done to that is Poke Park, which it's not even...
The closest thing to anything, Poke Park is bad.
Right. But, I mean, yeah, a lot of people, honestly including myself, are speculating how well Nintendo is going to do with the Wii U coming up and how flaky and weird all the announcements have been. What's your take on?
The Wii U will be the last Nintendo console, like home console. The 3DS is going to have its 9 iterations where it's going to add a second analog stick around here. But Nintendo looks like they're in a lot of trouble. The 3DS lineup this year, besides that Tales of the Abyss game you want, which isn't going to sell very well. It's a very niche market.
Yeah, it's already out, and I was in a couple GameStops in the past couple weeks, and I didn't see it there, which is unfortunate because it's one of those games where the only reason it's not doing well is just because they did not we're like, check this game out.
Nobody knows
buy
what it is.
Nobody knows what it is, which is sad because
there's a specific market that knows exactly like, oh man, I can't wait for that game.
Yeah,
and then there's the normal consumer,
which consists of like 5 people.
Yeah. The normal consumer has no idea what that game is.
Oh yeah, definitely. Which is sad because the biggest thing with Nintendo is just I feel that they don't have marketing down very well. Like
better than Sony's marketing. Better than Sony's.
Well, that's the thing. As far like PlayStation, Sony fans eat up anything they do much harder than Nintendo people because Sony puts out stuff that really honestly doesn't need a lot of promoting.
The only thing that sells on Nintendo is Nintendo's own characters. So Mario, Zelda, Pokemon.
Mario, Zelda, Pokemon is pretty much the only thing driving Nintendo. Everything
Star
else.
Fox. Kind of.
I don't know how. No, because like the one game, Star Fox 64 and the remake, but every other Star Fox was awful. It was terrible. Yeah. Like nobody liked it. I didn't like it. I didn't even bother to,
So how do you know if you didn't like it or not? If you didn't bother?
No, I played it and I didn't like it because I don't know. It's just that. That's the only thing is there are the 3 real series that are driving Nintendo, and then everything else is basically like not let's make good games that people will enjoy. Let's make stuff that parents will buy their kids. Let's do the whole Wii Sports and all this other stuff, and just not try and get more cool exclusives.
Well, when you have 9 versions of a Mario game. Like Mario Kart, Mario Hoops, Mario Tennis, Mario this and that, and Super Mario and 3D Land and blah, 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 blah. And that's your only thing you can sell. I mean, more power to you if that's all it takes.
Yeah, but the thing is, just riding on a couple series is not enough to carry you over, which is why it's skeptical. It's not looking awesome for Nintendo. I mean, honestly, with the past few announcements and everyone who's actually gotten their hands on a sample of the Wii U says great things, but when the Wii U first came out,
we didn't know if it was a new console or if it's just a controller or what the hell it was.
Yeah, plus it just didn't work. Every new announcement was Wii U. It's like, guess what? Now this doesn't work. Now we have this problem and this is wrong.
The best part was when they're like, the guy came up to announce Super Smash Brothers for the 3DS and Wii. He's like, yeah, we haven't even started this yet, but whatever.
Oh yeah. But yeah,
pretty bad.
I don't know. Nintendo just seems to be.
So on the 3DS this year, the games besides Tales of the Abyss, which no one cares about, you have Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater in 3D.
The Metal Gears.
There's no point of buying that because it's a cutscene heavy game, and if you're going to be on a portable, unless it's your only system you have, it's not meant to be a portable game.
Well, yeah. How would you like to watch a movie and have to hold up your screen? Like, this is great.
Like the first cutscene in Snake Eater is like 40 minutes long. So imagine like you open your 3DS and you're on like a car ride and you're like, oh, I can't wait to play this game, and you have to watch a video for 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Then also the problem
that equals
is
hand cramps.
Yeah. The other problem is that it's $40, where I've seen the HD collection, which comes with not only Snake Eater, which you get with the 3DS, it comes with the second one and Peace Walker, which was the PSP game, for $10 cheaper, for $30. Then you can get just the one game on the 3DS for. So really, that to me, that's a waste of money.
Yeah. Plus, then there's also the other big 3DS release within the next few months. Well, next month.
What, March 20th-ish? Yeah,
sometime around there. It is Kid Icarus, and a lot of stuff going on there. To me, there's so many pros, so many cons.
Just looking at that game makes my hands hurt.
Yeah, because the way they have it is the main format of gameplay is going... Because normally, you're holding it like you would a controller. What did I do? I activated my camera. But basically, it's how you hold your controller, one on each side. However, the main game format for gameplay for Kid Icarus is going to be left hand where it normally is, stylus in the center doing the action. So your hands are pretty much touching the whole time, and you have to hold up the console with one hand, which, even though it's not a heavy console, holding up anything, especially with one hand for an extended period of time, it's going to hurt. It's going to be a painful game to play, and which is very unfortunate because I was very stoked on it. That I saw the gameplay. I'm like, as cool as it is to implement a new style of gameplay, which is the main thing that Nintendo is known for, it's not going to be comfortable.
Well, luckily, Nintendo saw your problems, Nate. They said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to give you a nice stand for your 3DS, for your portable system. So it's a big stand. It looks like that, and then you put the 3DS on it, so that way your hand doesn't hurt after playing it for more than 10 seconds.
Which I still don't see how that could work, because I feel like a stand, unless it's a heavy duty stand, which my mic is on, it's like there's no way that that's going to be efficient, just because it's going to be light and it's going to scoot around, it's going to move. So I don't know. It just seems like Nintendo is just pretty much running on, hey, this was a good idea in theory. But
they have to push it out now. They have to, and they can't go back and fix it now. It's the only other game coming out for the 3DS this year that anyone cares about.
Well, that's been announced.
I mean, the only way Nintendo has a hope of any game selling this year for the 3DS is announcing them at E3 and trying to push them out by November. Because right now, Kid Icarus is the last one. Then you have Luigi's Mansion, which doesn't have a release date. You have Animal Crossing that doesn't have a release date. And that's about it. That's about the 3DS.
Yeah. Nintendo.
Unlike the Vita, which is much better.
You and your Vita.
PS fanboys are PS fanboys.
It's true.
I've gotten that so much I don't even have a PS3 yet. But
soon, Nate. Soon. You'll join the smart people, Max.
Yeah, so if anything, there's your comment question. Leave a comment or a video response about how you feel of the future of Nintendo. Do you feel they're doing it right, or do you just feel that they're just so desperate for new ideas that they are just digging their hole deeper?
They just need to make an HD Zelda for the Wii U that's an original game, and there you go.
They just need to make an HD console first before they start worrying about HD games. This is the Wii, it's amazing. Oh yeah? It puts out 480p. Why? I don't know. But yeah, future of Nintendo. How do you feel about how they're doing? Leave a comment or a video response. Also be sure to subscribe and follow us on Twitter, which is @GBA Tweets. All the links are in the description. And that's about it, I believe.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. This week we couldn't get to our Wednesday or Friday show, so that'll start up again this week.
Yeah,
I didn't have internet, and
I moved.
Yeah.
So I barely.
So it was a bad week for us. We're gonna get that to you.
Oh, and Scott James is probably sleeping right now.
Yeah, he didn't answer his phone. So if any of you cared, then that's probably where he is.
For you PC gamers that watch, sorry.
All three of you.
Sorry. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next week.
And we're out.
Bye.